Hello Gemini, it's Marina from the Butterfly Effect, and this is your reading for the next 7 to 10 days. It is a general reading for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising and Venus. Please do check out your other placements to get a more comprehensive view of the next 7 to 10 days for you. It is a general reading. Energies can be interchangeable, and I'm going to start with the energy for the Gemini I'm reading for, which is the Bobcat Spirit, Life is a Mystery, and the Lizard Spirit in reverse, which speaks of dream the world into being. Now, firstly on the dice, we do have the 9th house, Gemini. So for this period, you might be looking at long journeys. It's the house of spirituality, distant countries and cultures. It can be about higher knowledge, specifically educational institutions, maybe religion. But it can be a metaphysical journey rather than an actual journey. It might be more physical for you. I am seeing a couple of cards here that suggest some sort of movement this week. We do have Mars, which is always, very driven, seeking adventure. And it might be like you're looking or seeking adventure or knowledge in terms of 9th house, energy. It can be a very obsessive energy. It can mean you've got a lot of energy, but it can also come through as kind of angry and determined, especially with Taurus. Taurus is fixed earth energy. So that can relate to, food, money, resources. It can be very self-indulgent, very determined, very strong, but it can also be stubborn. So that's the sort of things that could be involved. Now, Bobcat Spirit is saying that you might be moving kind of like furtively or mysteriously this week, but it's also really saying that you're not going to be able to comprehend things intellectually this week. So it's asking for a degree of trust to let secrets or revelations come to you naturally. And when they do, you're not to, question it really, because it's maybe not going to be logical. It's more of a, intuitive feeling. So it really is asking you not to overthink, not to overanalyze what is coming through to you. There may be revelations that come through to you this week. The lizard being in reverse, that's kind of making sure, or almost suggesting that you don't let your imagination turn into something a little bit darker. Because when the lizard is in the upright, he's speaking about dreaming the world into being. It's very, very positive, visualizations and focused positive energy. On the flip side, it can be that you've actually like dreaming up nightmares, of what could go wrong. This is about all the things that could go wrong. And if you've been in that energy and, you've sort of, randomly predicted something, or, you've manifested something really quickly and it's something really negative because you literally just thought about it or you spoke about it, it can make you a wee bit paranoid. So it's telling you to dream anew, dream better dreams. Just because that happened doesn't mean that's how it's going to happen, So it feels like it is very 9th house. It's very, philosophical, and you might just be very much in your head this week. But it's just, I think it's asking you just to allow. It's a week of allowing and not overthinking. Things might not make a lot of sense, and try not to fret about that. There's definitely some sort of activity this week, however, especially with Mars. And I've got my ship card and the rider here and meeting. So there's stuff going on. Now, your external environment can obviously be a person. It can be, your workplace. It can be your home. It can even just be where your mind is at. Okay, bear that in mind. Chameleon Spirit is act as if, and the Frog Spirit is in reverse here. I will read it as a person just because it's easier, but that's not what this needs to be. The chameleon is saying that things are changing. Your outer circumstances are changing in some sort of way. And it may make you feel a little bit unstable because it's kind of uncharted territory. It's something very new. So the energy here is being asked to be adaptable, changeable, because, something is changing. And it may be that you need to kind of fit in for a bit, act as if, sort of fake it till you make it type energy. Just till you get the lay of the land and who you're dealing with and what you're dealing with, The Frog Spirit being in reverse is asking you about clearing stuff up. There could be something that's weighing you down or this person down. Again, it is your environment, so it might be just, time to cleanse let stuff go, and a little declutter of, you know, your property, your schedule, your makeup bag. I don't know why I got that. It can be like holding on to stuff that you don't need because you feel obliged to hold on to it, you know, like mementos and yeah, stuff that you're kind of nostalgic about, but when you look at it, it doesn't give you any pleasure. It's been weighed down. It's kind of like psychic dirt. Things need to be cleared out, and whatever this external environment is, I mean, I would normally say that's kind of like a job place, you know, you're starting a new job and you don't really know who's buddies with who, so you have to mind your P's and Q's and, you know, just sort of like see how the land lies. You want to be a little bit inconspicuous. Now, there is kind of mirroring energy there because the bobcat is kind of, as I say, furtive and under the radar, and the chameleon is very changeable and he's trying to blend in. So it almost feels like slightly wary because there's some sort of meeting or get together here that is in some way uncharted territory. Now, we do have at the base of the deck the Owl Spirit in reverse, which is you're not seeing something clearly, or you're not using your intuition, or that could be who you're dealing with. This came in the upright for the Aquarian reading. So we've got a couple of challenging cards here, basically. The mice and the fox being the most challenging energy. The mice speaks about stress. It could be like a stressful meeting, a stressful event that you're thinking of going to, or indeed you're invited to go to. But the mice is also a card of loss and theft. It's something that's kind of like eating away at you. But it can be a very, it's a decreasing energy, you know. It's something that's just, with the fox next to it, that's a really shitty combination, I have to say. It's very parasitical, this combination. This is almost like, you know, there's thievery, quite possibly, on the table, and it may involve something to do with journeying. So if you are, you know, planning a trip, or, you know, buying a car, that could be another thing. You need to be cautious of, you know, who you're listening to, because the fox will lie. He is a scam artist. He is incredibly selfish, and it is in terms of this journey, 9th house, or a car. Something wrong. This literally could be there's something wrong with someone's car. They're actually supposed to be going somewhere, but there's something wrong. But, you know, it could even be like some sort of sabotage that's going on here, because and for some of you, this, if it relates to work, because the fox sometimes can be work, and I'm seeing some sort of meeting here. This can be the loss of a job, you know, and it's something that's taken selfishly, you know. I can speak of pickpockets, you know, public events. If you're going to any sort of event, you need to be careful of your belongings. There's this feeling of kind of blending in. So I don't know if someone is going to some sort of event and they are a little bit cautious about it, you know. But but you should be, quite frankly, because this is like the fox is in the hen house. This could be like, if it's not an event, it's a group of people, possibly even a friend group, and there's some sort of like lies, manipulation, coercion, involving losses. This is like, you know, mobster and thieves type energy, you know. And they couldn't even do, you know, I mean, this friend, if it's not a friend, it could be friendships. There's some sort of falseness here about the news that's coming in from this friend. I will clarify this, but this is just to give you an idea of all the many ways that Lenormand can be read. But there is a possibility that something could be taken here, and a lot could be taken. And it is somehow connected with traveling or journeying, Jesus. But, you know, I don't know, you maybe need to get your car fixed, because we've also got the rider up here. And that's usually about news, announcements, a visitor. It could be like a friendly visit. But there's something underlying here that is less than ideal. But it honestly, if it doesn't need to be dramatic, you know, tarot tends to be a bit dramatic. But, you know, if I were reading this and it were my reading, I'd be worried about my car. Literally, that would be it. Or, you know, if I had plans to go and see somebody, I'd be suspecting there's going to be an issue in terms of how to get there. You know, there's going to be some sort of diversion or some sort of delay, or I'm going to forget something, going to have to drive back again. I've made a mistake. The fox makes mistakes. So, you know, it doesn't need to be dramatic, but at the same time, you'll know what's going on in your life and, you know, apply it appropriately. So let's just go straight to the mice and see what that's about, because it can just be stressing. And it can be that someone has told a lie and they're stressing about this lie. The mice for Gemini. Mice for Gemini. Please Spirit, mice for Gemini. Yeah, I mean, it's not quite stress. This is gloominess, doom. This is someone who has a very pessimistic view of things. This is someone who doesn't expect things to go well, which is why the dream lizard spirit is in reverse. This is someone who's dreaming up nightmares, who's seeing, you know, worst case scenario. You know, I'm saying Doctor Strange is going into the multiverse here, and all he's seeing is freaking disasters, you know. He's looked at a trillion different outcomes, and only one of them is going to work. It's a very pessimistic viewpoint. It's expecting to be ripped off, you know. But it's creating stress. Okay, so it may be something to do with love, but to whom the poet is in reverse here is my lovesick Romeo. When he's in reverse, he's kind of twisted. You know, this can be someone who is rejected in love or rejected in some way, shape or form. It's usually in terms of, you know, their erotic energy that they're trying to put out there. Somebody who also doesn't see clear, and we do have the owl spirit in reverse. It's someone who does not have a very positive attitude in life, you know. Doesn't really see things as beautiful and positive and uplifting. It's just like, it's incredibly cynical, actually. Really, Gemini. Let's see the fox. What's Foxy up to? See, Fox is like taking a dump on this mice, whatever this loss is, or whatever this stress is. And he's taking from that and he's giving to this journey. Show me the fox. The fox is usually a person. The fox for Gemini shows the fox. Initiation. Oh, it's the 9th house. I've got a bright mother in reverse here. This is someone who's taking some sort of action. This is where this the ship is coming in here. The ship is a card of progress. This can suggest some sort of success, a passage through something that's really difficult, a breakthrough in some way. It's moving towards greater fulfillment, but it's ultimately taking some sort of action in the ship, and that is Mars energy. Taking action to travel. I really do think someone is going on some sort of trip or journey here. But it might well be it's just that, and they're just thinking it's going to be shit. It's going to be cancelled, you know. Going to lose all my possessions. The weather's going to be dreadful. The ship for Gemini. Yeah, it's going to be crap. Honestly, this is like a stinking attitude. Ecstasis is in reverse. This is a card of bliss and joy and rapture and healing the past. I mean, it's something that someone is taking action towards. There's something doing. But their expectations of a positive outcome are non-existent. The ship. This is somebody who doesn't feel something can be fixed here. This is the paradox. I don't know what specifically it is that someone is, you know, would like to fix. There's someone here that needs to bring more joy and happiness into their life. And worryingly, the kind of initiation, you know, like the starter, is coming from the fox. And the fox is going to be deceptive. He's not going to come through, you know, straightforward, honest. He's not. But he is sort of pulling the trigger on something. Show me the fox and his initiation. 8 of Cups. Walking away from something. This could be walking away from something that's, you know, stressful, or you've considered a loss. I do feel that someone in some ways it's had some sort of rejection here, or disappointment. There's some sort of disappointment, emotional disappointment. The Page of Pentacles is it's a very new energy. It can speak of the student, and we do have the 9th house here, so this could be someone who's, you know, starting a new course of study, or they're looking to learn something, invest their time, money, efforts into doing something new. It is new. I've got the 4 of Wands at the base of the deck here. That speaks of home, hearth, celebration, marriage. What is the Pook reversed? Temperance in reverse. It's just like, it honestly feels like a loss of hope. So it also speaks of chaos, you know, things not going to plan. There's a lack of patience. There's a lack of healing. The Pook and ecstasis. Right, there's definitely some sort of effort being made here. The 3 of Wands is very similar to the Ship card here. There is some sort of progress here. There's some travel. There's even a desire to, you know, make plans, waiting for something to come in here. There is a feeling of kind of irritation and a very pessimistic attitude. But ultimately, Gemini, something is happening here. Let me see where we're going. We're moving in this direction. Show us the garden. So the garden is the meeting. It can speak of public. It's a social event. It's your local community, a party. The garden for Gemini. The garden for Gemini. Oh, brilliant. I mean, gosh, this is the card of the week so far. Sylvanus. That's come out in both of the air signs readings so far. So, you know, check out if you've got any other placements in Aquarius or Libra. So this is clarity. This is cutting through the deception. And it's not necessarily, you know, finding out or, you know, some sort of revelation. It's where we have in some way fooled ourselves sometimes, you know. It's the truth. Honesty, clarity is the meeting. There's possibly a new understanding here. The Ra is in reverse here. Ra is a very, I'm hearing uncompromising energy. It's a very sexual energy, and it's one that doesn't have any self-control, basically. It usually is, you know, very determined, wanting to go for it, you know, sees potential everywhere, very excited. The truth about something to do with that. It can be sexual frustration, and bear in mind I do have ecstasis in reverse here. So as I say, there might have been some sort of rejection here that someone is looking to move on from because they can't sort it. I can't get no satisfaction, is what I'm hearing. And now we're getting some sort of truth or clarity with regards to a meeting. Now this honestly could mean that somebody's friend-zoned, seriously. Because there's kind of like, it's like it kind of hope thwarted here. Especially with Tahom being in reverse. And he can be like twisted sexual energy, you know. Same with Mars. Can be very, you know, vindictive. They don't get their way. Very obsessive. Yeah. Taurus fixed energy. I'm going to drive this through. I'm going to run around. I'm going to win. I'm going to, you know. And someone could be friend-zoned. That might be the truth of this meeting. There's some sort of rejection here. Show me the Ra. Yeah, let's see why Ra is in reverse for this meeting. 5 of Cups. There's some sort of rejection here that wants to come out. It's your own energy, Magician. But that is also an energy of initiation. It can be kind of getting over the worst of that though, Gemini. The 5 of Cups is in reverse. It's also my sort of runner-chaser energy. Tower. Tower on the 8 of Pentacles. I'm coming back to the fact that the fox could relate to something to do with work. And there literally would be a loss of work or a contract. And having to start anew at something, you know. Because maybe the work or the, you know, place you work, the place, the environment you work in. Because this can speak of like the workforce. There's no happiness there, no joy, you know. No camaraderie, nobody's getting on. Someone is making plans to move on, basically. It might be something that happens out the blue. The Tower can obviously be fairly destructive in terms of how it manifests. It ultimately is usually something positive after the fact. But it is something that can be, it can be a bit of an epiphany type energy with Sylvanus and the huge sword here. Like a bit of a shock. I don't know, someone we just weren't expecting this. As I'm hearing Ed Sheeran, well, I wasn't expecting that. Just give me one more for Gemini in the Tower. Phoenix, so that's good. That's a new phase. So maybe the whole hideous, pessimistic, nothing's going to go my way, I'm going to get knocked back every time, I'm never going to get the job, never going to get the person. And the shock is actually somebody might want to, you know, put some effort into this. Somebody does want to work on something. But they maybe just want to be friends first. Tell me about the dog. So the dog can be, as I say, the friend. It can also be a colleague. It can sometimes be the other man. But it speaks of commitment, loyalty, friendship. Sometimes be a policeman or a protector of some sort. That's the 2 of Cups in reverse. I don't know, somebody's in a friendship here and they would like it to be more, or this is a friendship that's broken up and they're not really expecting things to, oh, there's that obsession. This is this Taurus energy with Mars. Someone's obsessing about a breakup or obsessing about a friendship that's, you know, I think somebody either wants a friendship to become more, and they've been friend zoned, or they're just currently in separation from someone and they don't expect it to go well. They can't really fix it, they're going to move on, but it might be that something's kind of changing there because there is the Phoenix here. Somebody can literally change their mind when that comes through, you know. But we do have in the outcome the Bridges and the Rider. Now the Rider is news, it's an announcement, it's a visitor. It's a mailman sometimes, but this would be like a visit from a friend, a friendly visit. And it's trying to maybe, you know, reconnect with the Bridges. Can sometimes be a new man. Tell me about the Rider for Gemini. I do think there's definitely something related to work here, Gemini, because the Anchor is at the base of the deck with the Key. And this is getting answers in terms of your stability, you know, or where you want to put your roots down, or in terms of your actual job. There's a breakthrough in the work front here. So even though, you know, maybe you do want to leave a job, I think there's something that comes in that just sort of, you know, reinvigorates you. So let's look at this Rider, Gemini Rider, Gemini. Oh, look at that. It's unity. Oh my God, it's adorable. There is some sort of obsession here that you need to be aware of, Gemini. And if that is you need to be conscious of that. Because the Tahom and the Piper in reverse is a very sort of thwarted sexual energy here. And it's one that can turn a bit rancid, you know. Yeah. It's an attraction that's gone a bit twisted because someone's not having their needs met, basically. So you need to watch that. But this is gorgeous. So firstly, the Unity card is about 2 becoming 1. It's a very cooperative combination. It speaks of equal partnership. It's for the highest good of all and not just the one. It's a very spiritual connection. It's a spiritual union. It's literally your home. It's the fusing together of 2. And with Ilby, this can speak of something from your past. But it's not. It doesn't need to be a person. It's a reminder of something you've lost. Yeah. partnership, coupledom, a feeling of joy, a feeling of bliss, a feeling of things going your way, getting what you want out of life. It's also a card of loyalty and protection, who the dog is. So there is something very wrong at the base, but there ultimately is the potential for something very right to come out of it. So let's take you some advice, Gemini. Lots of messages in that. I think you should listen to it back, because it's not your full story. There's loads of wee bits in here that I think someone needs to be aware of in terms of, you know, losses and travelling. So advice, one more, Gemini. Well, I wasn't expecting that. Ed Sheeran. Advice for Gemini. Gemini. The advice for this reading, please, Spirit, for Gemini. Gemini's advice. Don't forget to like, please. Yeah, I'm coming back to that back row. Be the light and the night. White Witch. Heart Guardian. That came through for Aquarius as well. Love and let yourself be loved. So firstly, the white witch is surround yourself with protective energy. Actually, be the light. It's saying that there's low vibrational energy around you, and that is in way, I don't know if it's a group that you're dealing with or whoever, but the devil is here with the Two of Cups. There's like an obsession that's very unhealthy, and there's somebody here that needs to get a grip on their sexual energy in terms of what they're putting out there. Because look at all that. That's like blue balls. The failed orgasm, the obsessive devil here, and Tom the poet, twisted erotic energy. Something that needs maybe cleaned up with somebody's sexual energy. And that may be what needs to be confessed with the Knight here. This is my emotional confession with the Knight. Be brave and honest. And if there are, negative energies around you, negative groups, sordid communities, whatever that may be, that's something that needs to be literally cleansed. Okay, Gemini, that's your reading. I do hope you find it useful. Have a super week, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.